And welcome back to the WHHI Daily News. Wendy Cummings has joined us. She is an RN, school nurse at Cross Schools. And we're talking allergies. We're in the spring and allergies are in full swing. And so, Wendy, let's just jump right in. And you actually shared with me before the interview started that you're not feeling so great and you think it's allergies, right? Sorry. So sorry.
I do, but 'tis the season, as you said. Everything is blooming, so it is the season.
So what are some of the symptoms for allergies? I know it's similar to a common cold, but we know they're not contagious, but what are some of those symptoms that are just so annoying?
So, itchy, watery, dry eyes, sneezing, nasal congestion, maybe some postnasal drip. So you may even have a little bit of a sore throat, mouth breathing, because you are congested. All also symptoms of that we often see with a cold. Typically, allergies are very common. Children are especially prone to them. And I'm not even really touching on, the big allergies like allergies to foods and things like that, but more to the environmental type allergies, your pet dander, your dust mites, your pollen, and things like that. And others, of course, you want to have addressed with an allergist. And if your child is more prone to allergies, if a parent does have allergies, your child is going to be much more prone. You have a higher percentage, higher chance of getting those allergies. But if you're seeing these symptoms, typically, if it's a cold, it will be a much shorter duration. If it's lasting longer, typically if they have these allergies during the pollen season, it will last the entire season.
And so what are some of the treatments? And I know there's a wide variety, so you want to touch on several of those.
There are, and I would say, always consult your pediatrician if you have any questions, or your healthcare provider. Antihistamines are very popular. Nasal rinses, as long as they are done correctly, are also good. Using some saline drops in the eyes and in the nose can often help. Avoidance. When it's high pollen season and you see that yellow snow, we've always been told don't eat the yellow snow growing up. But in this case, you don't want to play in the yellow snow. If it's the outdoor environmental things that are triggering you, then you avoid that outdoor time. And we know kids love to be outside, and we want them to get that fresh air. But if they do tend to have allergies, as soon as they come in, have them change their clothes, take a shower, get all of that off. But avoidance is a big one. And then if it persists into some of the more symptoms, then you might want to talk to them about antihistamines and other routes.
So you are saying, should you go to the doctor if you're feeling that it's allergies, and to kind of diagnose that, and then to talk about the various treatments? Should you take your child to the pediatrician or try to just treat it at home?
Again, that is a parental decision. What I would say, if you are seeing recurrent allergy type reactions, certainly if it's a severe reaction, you definitely want to seek emergency assistance. But if you're seeing from season to season, you're seeing repetitive symptoms popping up, then I would take them in, talk to your pediatrician. They may want to send you to an allergist to determine. If you are seeing it consistently across the seasons, then you may want to look at the allergen being in your home. Okay. Maybe it's pet dander, maybe it's dust mites. So I always say trust your parental gut, and seek out that pediatrician's guidance as needed.
And the big final question is, if your child does have allergies, no fever, can they go to school? We said allergies aren't contagious.
This is true. If they are feeling able and there's no fever, and they can tolerate, sometimes you just have so many symptoms and you feel horrible. But if they're feeling okay and you feel that they can make it through the day, I say, have them in school. That's our goal, is to keep them in school. We like to keep them healthy. If it is a cold, they may share that. but that is a part of being in our society and being out and about. But absolutely, if there's no fever and they are physically feeling able, then they
Go
are
to
welcome to
school.
go to school.
Okay, very good. Wendy Cummings, appreciate your monthly update. Again, Wendy is a school nurse at Cross Schools, and we'll be right back with more news.